The Dutch trouble everywhere with their team, and here they were in the city of Prague to face the Czech Republic, one of the newer footballing nations, but of course that is a mere semantic expression, because here in the city of Prague has been given birth many players of great quality. And the Czech side today, with teams coming here, and every indication that the Czechs can be very difficult to beat indeed. There's no Dennis Bergkamp for the Dutch. He's gone down with the flu. In comes Peter van Vossen and Mark Overmars, one of the 6 Ajax players. It is very much an Ajax-dominated Netherlands side. And the player you saw there, Skurabi, with that little ponytail, and if the Dutch needed any warnings about the capabilities of this side, it came in the very first game they played in this qualifying group, which ended up 1-1. And there was no Nemecek and no Skurabi. They weren't allowed to play by the clubs Toulouse and Genoa respectively. They're playing tonight, and they will be, one of them dangerous, very dangerous in attack, and the other solid in defense. Onto that far side, Thomas Repka. I don't think the Dutch supporters, although they're making tremendous din in the background here, are all that confident. There's the ball pushed forward by Berger, going in on goal. Beautifully set away there by Nemec. Patrick Berger is a local boy, plays for Slavia Prague, and indeed Nemecek, Skurabi, they all had experience of that club. You may remember them from a European Cup run. Well, the Dutch looking very nervy at the early stages of this game. Winter tried to get that away down the side, picked up by Ronald de Boer, playing magnificently for Ajax in the Champions League. Well, I think he was expecting something from the referee out of that. Well, I think the Dutch bench very rueful about what has happened so far. The Czechs looking very frisky indeed. Nemec, excellent. That is Nemec on the ball now. One of the players, one of the 4 players from the Bundesliga, plays for Schalke. Now they try to put that through to Skurabi. Berger just gliding that through that space. Frank de Boer building it up from the back to Clarence Seedorf. Seedorf just gives the impression he's moving on ball bearings. He just floats around very smoothly indeed. There he is again, Seedorf. Wim Jonk, oh, it's in! Well, that's a typical strike by Wim Jonk. Well, I'm sure the Dutch will recognize what he's done in the past. He can do it again in the future. And in that great young run that Ajax had to win the UEFA Cup a couple of seasons ago, he scored a couple of goals like that. Eye over the ball and no chance. There was just a suggestion of a touch there by Kadlec. And the Dutch against the run of the play, 1 up. Beautiful ball through by Kuka, Berger again. While De Gouy didn't need to go for it. I think he realized as soon as it left the book of Patrick Berger, it was hitting the side net. But oh dear, bad marking by the Dutch defense, which looks astonishingly flat. Seedorf. Well, that's where the Dutch are not winning. And it goes back to Frydek. Wow, they're giving away incredible chances in front of goal now. Very good goalkeeping there by De Gouy, getting his legs out and I think putting the Czech player off. Put forward there by Stan Balch. He's been having a hard time of it in the center of defense. That was Winter. Seedorf. Beautifully subtle move there. And in goes Jonk. Now that was much more like the Dutch. Some delicate one-touch football in midfield. Now we've seen nothing of the speed of this man. Away he goes now. Overmars, that will be a booking. Pavel Happel, the Leverkusen player, will certainly get his name in the book for that. I doubt if there's a quicker player in European football than this man, Mark Overmars. Booking taken, and Wim Jonk just behind him there, Frank de Boer. He might just leave it to de Boer, in fact. Lays it to the side, neat little shimmy there. And Ronald de Boer getting the final shot. Seedorf. Jonk. Well, after that opening blistering 20-minute spell, which was really torrid for the Dutch, and then getting that goal by Wim Jonk, they have settled. Well, they are putting the passes together. That was about 10 passes from the back. They certainly lost possession, but I think that's an indication of more confidence. Kadlec, or Kadlec, I think I should call him. Overmars. Need a play out in Winter. Picked up here by Van Vossen. Straight in for Bergkamp, of course. Well, I did say they were knocking the ball about intelligently, the Dutch. Again, demonstrating this here. While the crowd might be whistling, I think it's annoying that the side cannot get the ball. Well, the coach, Varane, right out there. I think the crowd now beginning to get a little bit restless. Scuravi! Oh, he's brought down. Well, not according to the referee. Just watch that again. Oh, I would think about 7 out of 10 referees would give a penalty for that. Balch. Jonk. That's the better ball. De Boer in with it. Oh. Well, Peter Kuba, who's not the first choice goalkeeper, making heavy weather of that, and the Dutch in what I think was a stupid act of provocation by Arthur Newman from Eindhoven. And off go the Czech players in reprisal. I just get the impression the Czech players must get a goal soon, or they'll become decidedly dispirited. They've had nothing to show so far for that excellent play in the first half. That's Scuravi. Why, he gets up very well. As I said, Scuravi missed the last game. Thus, the Dutch didn't have to face this wonderful spring he has. They're beavering away. On terms of possession, aggression, they really deserve a goal at this stage. And it goes wide. Berger putting it in. It is Scuravi. Well, that was inevitable. He set it up himself. Watch the square ball and look at him taking off, just looking back over his shoulder. That's excellent play, and finishes the move. Well, I think it's a goal the Dutch themselves would have been proud of, technically sound as they are. Scorabi's goal right out of the top drawer, or Dennis Bergkamp's drawer, the sort of goal that he would be very proud of indeed. And now they're on the attack again. Played there to Kuka. I think Frank de Boer gets it this time. Pavel Kuka, the Kaiserslautern player, upended. Another yellow card. This time Frank de Boer. As I said, dominated by the Ajax players. That's not terribly surprising, given the superb form that Ajax are in at the moment. And all of these players I've been mentioning from Ajax, including the players from the bench, Patrick Kluivert getting prepared to play Milan. It's now one each. Touched there by De Gouy, little hesitantly. What a great game of football this has been. Like old times in Prague. Last time we watched a really great team playing here. Oh, it's gone in! Václav Nemeček. He got the final touch. 57 minutes gone, and thoroughly deservedly they've gone 2-1 up. The little back glance there, and it went straight in. Scorabi does a little dance of joy there. But the scorer, Václav Nemeček. The Dutch can't complain. They've been playing against a side with great spirit. And technically, certainly in midfield, just as good as the Dutch. And with dangerous finishes, I think they're going to turn out to be strong contenders in the last section of this group. Young trying to get away with it. I think the crowd roaring with the relief about that. Well, they might be thinking of substitutions. Certainly Peter Bosz came on just after a minute of the second half. I think another free kick. This time it was Jiri Nemec, the Schalke player, who went down. And remember, I think what buttresses the possible chances of a side like the Czech Republic are players playing outside the Czech league. They've got players from Italy, France and Germany on the side, and that cosmopolitan touch, that experience, is giving the side a new kind of steel and determination. It's in! Oh, De Gouy! Was he blinded? Patrick Berger. Well, the camera always goes to Thomas Scorabi when the score goes in, but that was undoubtedly Berger. The wall broke, and the goalkeeper, or I should say maybe using a Dutch expression, the dike broke, and certainly De Gouy couldn't put his finger in to stem the flood. Solemn faces on the Dutch bench. Played there by Radoslav Lato. Proved himself to be a very useful substitute since coming on. That will be a free kick. This result is no fluke. This team have played very intelligent football, and their coach must be very proud of them. While 3-1 is bad enough at this stage, certainly the Dutch want to prevent a humiliation. Great save that time from Scorabi. Well, you might possibly think that De Gouy was at fault for the free kick, but I think he saved the jerseys there. Oh yes, from that angle, great save. De Boer. Almost a gesture of a pass that time out of defense. Better header towards goal, but without any great sting in it. Obermar, Danny Blind, Yonk. Might have been aiming for a shot there. Kleiber just taking that away. And the Dutch, I think, realizing the Czechs are simply getting everybody behind the ball, congesting that penalty area. I think that sums up the Dutch evening. Really disappointing performance by Holland. Although they won their last game handsomely by 4-0, it was against weaker opposition, against Malta. Now touched inside there by Siegel. Oh! Wow, the substitute, I think, takes the credit for that long run down the right. Here's the final touch in the penalty area. Tried to curl it round the goalkeeper. Anxious moments for everybody in this game. I think the Dutch might be accepting defeat now. A heartening result for the Czech Republic. Again, one of the Eastern nations, the former communist nations, wishing to resuscitate their football, which had got into a rather mordant state. And one of the ways of doing that is getting results like the one they have now just achieved. The final whistle goes. A handsome, perhaps even an historic victory for the new footballing nation, the Czech Republic. They've already won a couple of games, but that's the most significant of all. The former European champions humbled in Prague. Oh yes, they are enjoying this. Let's not begrudge them it. It was well deserved, a thoroughly professional footballing performance.